teacher and fellow friend. Today we want to present about
the main goal and purpose of this project is to study and research the financial performance of Sharia compliance companies listed on the Bursa Malaysia. In this project, there is the background of the company, analysis of the relevant ratio, and the comparison of the analysis with the familiar company in the similar sector. Wihdat Group Berhad is one of the Sharia compliance companies that are listed on Bursa Malaysia. Wihdat Group Berhad, which is Wihdat Group, is committed to ensure the standard of ethical conduct, integrity, and accountability are always at the highest level, adopting its compliance obligation as part of the organization culture and commit to continually improving the quality of life of people within the built environment. While Perdana Petroleum Berhad is a main market of Bursa Malaysia Securities Berhad. Perdana Petroleum Berhad, which is Perdana or the company core business, encompass the provision of offshore marine support services for the upstream oil and gas industry in the domestic and regional markets. Wihdat Group Berhad has been active in the business since 90s and they have now diversified into many sectors such as construction and facility management. This diversification is done to fulfill the growing needs of caliber Bumi Putra contractors to serve the country's rapid growth. They have managed to achieve consistent growth throughout the years and have been recognized by many awards for their excellence. The journey of Perdana Petroleum Berhad started with the incorporation of Petra Resources Sdn Berhad, which is PRSB, on 16 August 1988, which commenced its business in the supply of engineering equipment to the oil and gas, petrochemical, and power generation industries. PRSB represented a host of internationally reputable equipment manufacturers via agency or distributor agreements for various industrial equipment such as pumps, gearbox, valve, air compressors, gas or diesel engine, and water markers.
For analysis of the relevant ratio for Perdana Petroleum Berhad, firstly, liquidity ratio. Liquid ratio is current asset minus inventory divided current liability, which is 100x 0.79 minus 2.07 divide 84.44, we get 1.26%. For current ratio, current asset divided current liability, which is 100x 0.79 divide 84.44, we get 1.29%. Second, activity ratio, inventory turnover, cost of goods sold divided average inventory, which is 163.44 dividing 2.82, we get 57.96%. Average collection period account receivable dividing sale is of 316 days, which is 51.21 divided 196.63, we get 94 days. Fixed asset turnover, sale dividing fixed assets, 197.93 dividing 730.96, we get 0.28%. Total asset turnover, sales dividing total assets, which is 196.93 dividing 822.77, we get 0.24%.
Now, I will explain about leverage ratio. There are three things that involve in leverage ratio, which is, for the first one is debt ratio. Formula for debt ratio is total liabilities divided to total asset equal to 237.44 divided to 822.77 equal to 0.29 times. Second one is return on interest ratio, which is earning before interest divided to interest expenses equal to 13.73 divided to negative 7.30 equals to negative 1.88. Last one is debt to equity ratio, which is total liabilities divided to equity ratio equal to 327.44 divided to 585.33 equal to 0.56. Next, we go to the profitability ratio. Okay, for the first one is net profit margin equals to net income divided to sales equal to 13.73 divided to 196.63 equals to 0.07. Next, gross profit margin, which is gross profits divided to sales, equal to 27.50 divided to 196.63 equals to 0.14. Next is return on asset, which is equal to net income divided to total assets, equal to 13.73 divided to 822.77 equal to 0.02. Last one is return on equity, which is net income divided to total equity, equal to 13.73 divided to 585.33 equals to 0.02. Now we go through to the bond valuations, which is price earning ratio equal to marketing per share divided to earning per share, equals to 822.77 divided to 0.0155 equal to 53,081.93. Dividend payout ratio, which is equals to dividend paid divided to net income, equals to 0. For the last one is earning per share, which is net income minus the preferred dividends divided to outstanding common stock, equals to 13.73 minus 0 divided to 885.20 equals to 0.02. Now we go to the next presenter.
Now, I will explain analysis for WIDAT group. First of analysis of the leverage ratio for WIDAT group. First is liquidity ratio, where there is a current ratio. Where formula for current ratio is current asset divided by current liability, where we can get the value from income statement or balance sheets, where current asset for WIDAT group is 465.66 divided by 174.42, so we get 2.67%. Second analysis of the leverage ratio for WIDAT group Berhad is activity ratio, where there is an average collection period. Where formula for average collection period, where account receivable divided by sale multiple 360 days, where account receivable for WIDAT group is 253.72 divided by 160 and 44, we get 2.58 multiple 360. So average collection period for WIDAT group is 569 days. It's a fixed asset turnover, where formula for fixed asset turnover, where sale divided by fixed asset, where sale for WIDAT group is 160.44 divided by 59.37, we get 2.70%. Next activity ratio is total asset turnover, where formula for total asset turnover, where sale divided by total asset, we get sale for WIDAT group is 160.44 divided by 936.45, so we get 0.17%. Next analysis of the leverage ratio for WIDAT group Berhad, where we find a leverage ratio, where under leverage ratio we find a debt ratio. Formula for debt ratio is total liability divided by total asset, where total liability from WIDAT group is 554.25 divided by 626.45. We get 0.59% or 59.83%. It's a return on interest ratio, where formula for return on interest ratio, where earning before interest divided by interest expenses, where earning before interest is negative 1.63 divided by negative 18.35, we get 0.08%. Under leverage ratio, also there is a debt to equity ratio, where formula for debt to equity ratio, where total liability divided by total equity, where total liability from WIDAT group is 554.35 divided by 372.09, where we get 1.49%. 4 is a profitable ratio, where under profitable ratio there is a net profit margin, where formula for net profit margin is net income divided by sale, where net income from WIDAT group is negative 6.13 divided by 160.44, we get negative 0.04%. Next is a gross profit margin, where formula for gross profit margin is gross profit divided by sale, where gross profit from WIDAT group is 27.50 divided by 160.44, we get 0.17%. Profitable ratio, there also a operating profit margin, where formula for operating profit margin, where net operating income divided by sale. First, we must find net operating income, where 132.95 minus 162.96 divided by 160 and 44 for sale. So the final answer is negative 0.18%. It's return on asset, where net income divided by total asset, where net income is negative 0.13 divided by 626.45. The final answer, we get negative 0.01%. For return on equity, where formula for return on equity is net income divided by total equity, where net income for WIDAT group is negative 0.13 divided by 372.09, so we get a negative 0.02%. The bond valuation, where PE ratio, where formula for PE ratio, where market share price divided by earning per share, where value for market share price is 0.1325 divided by negative 0.23, where the final answer we get is a negative 0.58%. Dividend payout ratio, where formula for dividend payout ratio, where dividend paid divided by net income multiple 100%, where dividend paid from without group is 0 divided by negative 0.13 multiple 100%, we get a 0%. Earning per share, where formula for earning per share, where net income minus preferred dividend divide outstanding of common stock, where net income from without group is negative 0.13 minus 0 divide by 202.75, we get negative 0.03%. Price to book value, where formula for price to book value is market share price divided by book value per share multiple 100%. How to find per share is we have to find a book value per share first, where formula for book value per share is total asset minus total liability divided by number of share, where total asset from without group is 936.45 minus 554.35 divided by 2809.08, so we get book value per share is 0.1325. So the final answer for price to book value is 0.99.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Siti Zatina Muhammad. My matrix number is 01BID1F3007. So now I will explain about the comparison of analysis between Perdana Petroleum Berhad and Wydad Group Berhad. Wydad Group Berhad has a good current ratio which is 2.67 and means that it has a good ability to meet the short-term of financial obligations than Perdana Petroleum Berhad. For the quick ratio, Perdana Petroleum Berhad has better resources to pay its creditor when the payment are due. This is because Wydad Group Berhad did not have any quick ratio. For the inventory turnover, Perdana Petroleum Berhad is better because its inventory turnover is 57.96, and this shows that Perdana Petroleum Berhad is good in managing inventory to convert it rapidly into sales. For the average collection period, Perdana Petroleum Berhad has better ratio. This is because a high ratio in collection period will result in difficulties in managing their cash flow. For the fixed asset turnover, Wydad Group Berhad has a better value. This is because its value is 2.70 and means that Wydad Group Berhad has efficiency in managing its fixed asset and also can generate sales. The total asset turnover, Perdana Petroleum Berhad has a better value than Wydad Group Berhad, which is 0.24, and means that they have efficiency in managing its asset in generating sales. For the ratio, Wydad Group Berhad is better because its debt ratio is 0.60 and the lower percentage of debt of any company. This shows that the company use less debt financing finance its asset compared to equity finance. For return on interest ratio, Wydad Group Berhad has better percentage, which is 0.80 than Perdana Petroleum Berhad. Next, for the fixed asset turnover, this ratio, Wydad Group Berhad has a better ratio than Perdana Petroleum Berhad, and means that it has better efficiency in managing its asset in generating sales. And then debt to equity ratio, Wydad Group Berhad has a better percentage, which is 1.69 than Perdana Petroleum Berhad, which is 0.4056. The profitability ratio, which is net profit margin, gross profit margin, operating profit margin, return on asset and return on equity, Perdana Petroleum Berhad is better than Wydad Group Berhad in all terms of the ratio that I've mentioned earlier. The price per earning ratio shows that Perdana Petroleum Berhad has a better value than Wydad Group Berhad, which is 52,081.93, and this is considered as good. For dividend payout ratio, both companies are same because they did not have any dividend payout ratio. Next, Perdana Petroleum Berhad has better earning per share, which is EPS, in the value of 0.0155 than Wydad Group Berhad. In terms of price per ratio, Wydad Group Berhad has better value than Perdana Petroleum Berhad, which is 1.0. For the return on asset and return on equity, Perdana Petroleum Berhad is better than Wydad Group Berhad. Next, I will give the recommendation to the company that the company can use to improve its quality. In terms of the current ratio, you see that the current ratio in Wydad Group Berhad is better than Perdana Petroleum Berhad. So, to make sure that current ratio for Perdana Petroleum Berhad is better like current ratio for Wydad Group Berhad ratio, the company of Perdana Petroleum Berhad must look forward at amortization of any terms of loans. So, the quick ratio in Perdana Petroleum Berhad is better than Wydad Group Berhad. This means Wydad Group Berhad must increase sales and inventory turnover. For example, the company must have a good style of promotion and must gain relation to all the workers so that they can increase sales and get a better result. Under the activity ratio, which is inventory turnover, Perdana Petroleum Berhad is better than Wydad Group Berhad in terms of inventory turnover. So, we recommend this company to make good effective marketing, such as run with social media postings, articles, email campaigns, and all other channels that can be used to promote the company. The next one is for the average collection period, which is Perdana Petroleum Berhad has better ratio than Wiyad Group Berhad. And to improve it is by reward the debtors who have a history of making timely payments. This will guarantee that they will make early payments in future. The fixed asset turnover Wiyad Group Berhad is better than Perdana Petroleum Berhad, and we recommend the company to increase their revenue. For example, they can proceed from the sale of goods to one-time clients, cash received from any gift projects, and recurring revenue such as subscription fees or brokerage fees. For the total asset turnover, Perdana Petroleum Berhad is better than Wiyad Group Berhad, and to make any improvement, the company will slow down the collection of accounts receivable because it will reduce sales. This will move to leverage ratio, which is debt ratio. In debt ratio, Wiyad Group Berhad is better than Perdana Petroleum Berhad. So to improve it, the company must increase the amount that paid monthly towards the debt. So extra payments can help lower the overall debt more quickly. And then return on interest ratio, Wiyad Group Berhad is better than Perdana Petroleum Berhad. The recommendation is to reduce the cost of goods sold. Next, we'll move to debt to equity ratio, which is Wiyad Group Berhad is better than Perdana Petroleum Berhad. And the recommendation is to make sure the profitability rise, such as improve the sales revenue and cut costs to boost company's profitability. Profitability ratio in the terms of net profit margin. So Perdana Petroleum Berhad is better than Wiyad Group Berhad, and we recommend that they can lower the labor cost because the company will save more money. For the gross profit margin, Perdana Petroleum Berhad is better than Wiyad Group Berhad, and they can improve it by review and adjust the pricing, such as evaluate the pricing strategy to ensure that it will cover costs while remaining competitive. For operating profit margin, Perdana Petroleum Berhad is better than Wiyad Group Berhad, so Wiyad Group Berhad must increase average order value to improve the company. Next, return on asset. In this term, Perdana Petroleum Berhad is better than Wiyad Group Berhad, so the recommendation is growing net income to improve ROA in a variety of ways. For return on equity, Perdana Petroleum Berhad is better, so we recommend Wiyad Group Berhad to increase the financial leverage. This is because companies can use both debt and equity capital to fund itself. So a company's return on equity can be increased by raising its debt capital to its equity capital. For bond generation, which is for price per earning ratio, Perdana Petroleum Berhad is better. So the recommendation is Wiyad Group Berhad can increase the amount of people that will pay for a company's earning. This is because the more people that are willing to pay, the higher the price earning ratio will be. For dividend payout ratio, there are no difference because both companies do not have dividend payout ratio. But in case for recommendation, company can reinvest dividends as it can improve dividends payout ratio. For the earning per share, Perdana Petroleum Berhad is better. So the recommendation is that the other company can increase the net profit and repurchase its own stock. Lastly, for price per book ratio, Wiyad Group Berhad is better. To improve it is switching the denominator to tangible book value as it can increase price per book ratio.
Here, some of the feature and financial statement of the two companies, which are Perdana Petro and Wiyad Group.
Overall, Perdana Petroleum Berhad has a higher liquidity ratio than Wiyad Group Berhad. It means that Perdana Petroleum Berhad not holding more inventory rather than Wiyad Group Berhad. Perdana Petroleum Berhad has better the resources to pay its creditor when payment is due compared to Wiyad Group Berhad because the higher the liquidity, the easier it is for the company to pay its creditors on time. Besides, for the leverage ratio, Perdana Petroleum Berhad have higher debt to equity ratio compared to Wiyad Group Berhad, which means that the company may be borrowing more than is necessary. In profitability ratio, it can be shown that there is only a little bit difference in the 5 types of Perdana Petroleum Berhad and Wiyad Group Berhad. It can be observed that Perdana Petroleum Berhad get more profit than Wiyad Group Berhad.